So hello everyone, this is week 9 and we are going to start with another chapter. Before starting with it, let's just look at the syllabus first of all. So this is our syllabus which was uploaded on the Blackboard in the beginning of the semester. So now we are in week 9. In the last class in week 7 we finished up to text fields, text areas. That was chapter 17, swing 1. So we finished chapter 17, now it's week 9. We need to start with chapter 18, which is again some more concepts on the swing. We call it as swing 2. What are we going to do in this? We are going to talk about window listeners, which is 18.1 in your book, icons and scroll bars, then the graphics class for this week, and in the next week more about the graphics class. So in this lecture I am going to talk about only the window listeners and the icons and scroll bars. The graphic class I will take it collectively during the next week. So this week we will have the concepts on in this lecture we will have the concepts on window listeners, icons and scroll bars, and in the lab class we will have a lab on icons, scroll bars, image icons, all these more concepts which are based on swing 2. So let's start with it. First of all, let's start with the window listeners. What are window listeners? Okay, starting with the window listeners. Now what are window listeners? Let's start with it. Let us recall in the swing 1 we had a property called jframe.defaultClose operation. Now we use the method setDefaultClose operation for the program to close the window button in the JFrame. But this method allows only for a limited number of possibilities for what happens when the window is closed, when the close button is clicked. So when the user clicks the close window button, the JFrame fires an event known as window event, and JFrame can use the method setWindowListener to register the window listener to respond to such window events. So what is this basically? In the previous programs with the JFrame we have used a property called setDefaultClose operation, where we used some options like exit on close. That means when we clicked on the cross button of the window, what it does, it closes our frame. But this method provides some limited functionalities. Now when we use that operation, setDefaultClose operation, what our JFrame does, JFrame actually fires an event which is known as the window event. So what is a window event? Now window event has objects and they are the objects of the class window event. So a JFrame can use the method setWindowListener. So setWindowListener can be used by the JFrame to register a window listener, just like we have action listener, we have window listener. Just like we have action event, we have window event. Now window event is related to your frame, this window. Window listener are related to your window, or we call it as a frame. So to register a window listener to respond to such window events. Window listener can be programmed to respond to a window event in any way you want. We can write our own code for the window listener in the way we wish. So let's more talk about a window listener and the window events. There are three kinds of window related events. So what are these window event related handlers? So three kinds of window event related handlers, and they are window listener, window focus listener, and window state listener. These handlers can handle the window event objects. Now the methods of all these three event handlers, which are window listener, window focus listener, and window state listener, they are implemented by the abstract class window adapter class. So when the appropriate listener has registered on a window such as frame, window events are fired just after the window activity or a state has occurred. Window listeners are commonly used to implement custom window closing behavior, opening behavior, or exiting the program when the last window closes. Now, the activities or the states of the window. Now, what are the states or the activities of the window, or we call it as the window events also. These are as follows: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There are 8 methods or 8 events or 8 states of the window. So, opening a window, it shows a window for the first time. That means window is shown on the screen. Closing a window, it removes the window from the screen. Iconifying a window reduces the window to an icon. Icon is just a small picture. De-iconifying a window, it restores the window to its original size. So just opposite of iconifying. Focused window, the window which contains the focus owner. That means now the window will be, if I have many windows open, any one window will be in the focus. Activated window, it can be a frame or dialog. This window is either the focused or owns the focused window. Deactivated, this has lost the focus. And maximizing the window, it increases the window size to the maximum allowable size, either in the horizontal or in the vertical direction or in the both directions. Alright, so these are the window states or the events. In order to register a listener to your window events, you have 2 methods. Either you can implement a window listener interface, or you can extend the abstract class window adapter. So we can use 2 methods or the 2 ways. Either we can implement the interface window listener, or we can extend the abstract class which is window adapter. Now, what is the difference between both of them if we implement the interface or if we use the abstract class? So, the difference is window listener is an interface having all these abstract methods. So, according to the definition of the interface, when you implement the interface, in any class, you have to provide the implementation for all the methods which are there in the interface. And those methods, sometimes you may not need all the methods to handle any window event, but you have to implement them as stub methods. That means just provide an implementation with an empty bodies. Whereas Windows Adapter is an abstract class that implements all the methods in the window listener interface. So if you extend this abstract class, you may need to override only that method which you require in your program. There is no need to override all the methods. So this is the basic difference between the window listener and the Windows Adapter class. Window listener, window event and window adapter, they are in the package java.awt.event, and the methods in the window listeners, they are given in your textbook also. They are given in the page 1051 how to use those methods, but I have already explained what are the methods in the previous slides. Now how to use them? They are given in this page number. For example, window opened. All the methods normally take an object of the window event type. So all the methods, they take an object of the window event type. Alright, moving ahead. I will do now the 3 programs just to tell you how does this window listener or the window adapter work. So the 3 demo programs that I am going to do is, the first program I will create without using any window listener or window adapter. Second program I will do with the window listener, and the third program I will do with the window adapter. The code for all these programs are given over here. So first of all, let's do these programs. Then I will explain the further methods. Alright, so let's create a file. Okay, so I will just check where do I need to create it. I have to find the path. You can check how I select the path, because I checked your programs in the lab. In the practical, you find it difficult how to select a folder or how to select a path. So for example, I select this sample programs. Okay. So I give it a name. Instead of choosing sample programs, let me just select some other folder, week 9. Okay, so let me just give it a name, demo 1. So this program is without any window listener, program without any window listener or adapter. Alright, so in this case what I'm going to do, I'm just going to create a frame and import the required classes as we do it, but it will be without any window listener. So what I need, import java.awt.star. Alright, import javax dot swing dot star. Let's make a class now, public class demo1. I can use the main method here, public static void. I'm just going to create a frame, string args. Alright, so what will I do over here? I will just create a object of the frame, jframe class. Jframe f1 is equals to new jframe. Let me just give a title, swing frame. Let's have a simple label or a button over here, j label. L1 is equals to new j label. Let's just write it over here. This is a label. I can set the property of the j label. Where do I want to put it? JLabel dot center. I can use like this also. So my JLabel will appear in the center. I will add f1 dot add l1. Now I have jframe dot set close operation. I will use f1 dot set default close operation. I am going to use in some different way. I can use it, normally we use jframe dot do nothing on close. Set size and set visible. Set size, let me make it 200 and 200. Set visible, I set it to true. This is the very simplest program which we have already done in the beginning. Okay. f1 dot set size and f1 dot set visible. Set size. Alright, done. So now when I click it, nothing happens. This is what we need some sort of Windows listener. So this default close operation has very limited functionality. We want to do more for the window, or we want to use more operations or the states of the window. We have to use the window listener or window adapter. Okay, instead of JFrame, you can also use over here window constants. Window C capital constants. This is also a way of doing it. W is also capital. Okay, so that was the error over here. W should be capital over here. You can also use window constants. It will be same. If I run it, so the same thing, right? It's doing nothing on close. So we need something more. We need some more functionality for the window. That's why we want to use the window listener interface. Now I am going to do the same program. First of all, I will use window listener interface, and the second program I will do with the window adapter abstract class. So as we know, interface means all the 7 methods have to be given the implementation. So let's start with this demo 2. This program demonstrates window listener interface. Alright, now for this, it's in the awt.event, so I have to import the packages. Import java.awt.event.w is capital window listener listener listener. And the next I have to use window event, and next I need to import the swing and AWT. Import javax.swing.star, import java.awt.star. Alright, so let's start with our program. Public class demo 2. Alright, now I have discussed some methods in the interface. For example, if you see over here, if we are using the interface, I have to provide an implementation to all these 3, 4, 5, 6, 3, 6, 8 methods when I am using the interface. So I can make it as a stub. Stub means I just provide an empty implementation of the method. I don't write anything because I may not need all the methods over here. So what I have to do, I have to provide implementation for all these methods as I am using a window listener. So we forgot to use over here implements window listener. So we need to define over here implements because we are using the window listener interface. Alright, now I have all these methods are void and all the methods take an object of the window event type, just like we have the action performed, public void action performed for the action listener class, and it takes an object of the action event type. Same thing we have. So let's just talk about first method. Let's just talk about first method. For example, over here, window closing. So the method is public void. You need to keep track of which letters are capital. Public void window closing and window event object, whatever the object. Now here you want to need to provide an implementation to this method. For example, when I click on the cross button, system.exit 0. This is what it should do. Alright, now next method we have is, let's talk about the other method, opening a window. So window opening. I don't want anything to be written over here, or I can just write system.out.println window is opened, something like this, or I can leave it as a empty implementation. Alright, I have another method. Let's just look at over here. Opening a window, closing a window, iconifying, de-iconifying. I have another method over here which is window closed event. Now window opened is fired when the window is opened. Window closing is invoked when a window is in the process of being closed. Clicking the close window button causes the invocation of this method. I have another method called window closed. It is invoked when the window has been closed. So for example, I write over here window closed. So it will be fired when the window has been closed. Window has been closed. So window closing, let me just write over here system.out.println println we are about to close the window. So this will be fired when we click on the cross button. This will be invoked when we have already clicked the cross button. So these are the difference between them. Next method is iconified and de-iconified. We have 4 more methods: iconified, de-iconified, activated and deactivated. So how to write it? Same thing. So window iconified, it is invoked when the window is iconified when you click on the minimize button. So window iconified. So window is minimized, right? So iconified means when we click on the minimize button. Next is de-iconified. Window de-iconified. So this method is invoked when a window is de-iconified. That means when you activate a minimized window, it is de-iconified. So if I don't want to write over here, I can just leave it empty, or I can write like window is restored to its normal size, or it has been window and is de-iconified. Next 2 methods are activated Window activated. It is invoked when you click in a window, it becomes the activated window. So when you click somewhere in the window, it becomes an activated window. Window activated. So window is activated. When you click somewhere, anywhere inside the window is activated. Last is window deactivated. Deactivated. Now, this method it is invoked when a window is deactivated. When a window is activated, all other windows are deactivated. So, other actions can also deactivate. Suppose I don't want to write anything over here, I can leave it as a stub. I don't provide any implementation. So, the main drawback of using the window listener interface is that I have to provide implementation to all the methods of the window listener interface, even though I may not need in my program. Alright, so now we have to write our main method. Public static void main string args. I will copy from the previous program. I don't want to write it over here. So I just use it, set default close operation, window constants, do nothing on close. I will use the same thing and all the properties are the same. So now let's just check it. Okay, is not an abstract and deactivated. Window deactivated. So the problem here is W should be small in all the operations. This is the problem here. I will get error for all these. So W is small and their operation starts with the capital letter. Window closing. Okay, W is small. Opened. Okay, we have not implemented window opened. Maybe I will implement that method. Window opened. Window open. I don't wish to provide any implementation. This method will be implemented when we have just opened the window. If you want, you can write over here. Alright, let's just start it. Window is now window opened when window has been opened. So this event will be generated. Window opened and window opening when we are about to open a window. So this will be open. I don't think so we need to use this method. Window opened will be enough. Okay, and I can write over here system.out.println. For the methods, you can check your book. Window is opened. Okay. Alright, now let's just check it. Now when window has been opened, I should get some message over here. Okay. So my window is, if I reduce it to icon, it's iconified, it's de-iconified. I close it. So it's not closing. Let me just check it why it is not closing. Let's just check it because it should close it. Alright. Okay, let's just run it again. Okay, the problem here is we have not registered a window listener over here, just like we add a action listener. So here I have to add a window listener also. F1 dot add window listener. I have not added the window listener, and the name of the program. What is my name of the program? Demo2. So that was the problem over here. That's why it was not working. Now let's try to run it. Alright, let's just try to run it now. So when I run it, let's check what happens. Now does it shows me these print statements or not? Yes, if you see, window is activated. When you first open the window, window is activated, and opened after activating, window is open. Alright, now window is again activated because it lost its focus. When I click on this, it lost. Now if I try to minimize it, I should get iconified. Window is minimized. Window is minimized. When I try to de-iconify it, I should get window is restored to its normal size, and again I will get the message window is opened because it is de-iconified and it is opened also. So window is restored to its normal size and is de-iconified. Now when I close it, now if you see over here in the program, for the default close operation, although I have given do nothing on close, but when I click on this cross button, it will close this window. And what message it should display me? Window is window closing. That means when I click on this button, it should display me this message window closing. So let's just check it. When I click on this, I get the message window closing. So this is how the window listener works. The main drawback of the window listener is you have to provide the implementation to all the methods whether or not you need it or not. So the another demo I'm going to use with the help of the Windows Adapter abstract class. So we can use the abstract class over here. Window Adapter, how to do it? Let me just create a file called demo3. So I will do the same thing. I'm going to copy the code. The previous code I will just copy because it can be the same thing. I will just copy this whole code instead of writing it, because I need window listener, I need adapter, I need AWT, I need swing. Let me just make it demo3. Now here I have to make a change. It should extends window adapter. Instead of implement, it should extend window adapter. Now here I need to provide implementation to only those methods which I want to use in my program. For example, I may want only this closing and window open method. All other methods I don't need it, so I can remove all these methods. I need not to provide implementation to all the methods of this abstract class. Only the methods that I need for my program, I need to provide it. Alright, so I use the same thing, set default close operation, do nothing on close because I have defined the closing event, and let me just register it with demo3. That's it, I guess. Let's just run it. Window listener, add window listener. The problem is here, instead of window listener, I have to use over here window adapter, not window listener. Alright, so that was the error over here. Now let's just run it. So if you see, I need not to provide implementation to all the methods, only the methods that are required for my program I need to provide it. So for example, window open, and when I close it, window closed it. So this is the, you can say, it's a advantage of using the window adapter interface. Moving ahead, we have further more methods. So method dispose. When a frame uses dispose method, the frame is disposed close without closing the entire program or any other frame. Now what does this mean? So I can use a dispose method. So dispose method, it closes the entire program or any other frame it closes only that frame without closing the entire program or any other frame. So particular window which I want to close, it will be closed. So syntax is the object of the JFrame class dot dispose, and where it is a dispose method. For example, I am going to display this dispose method in the second program where we use the window listener interface, and we used all the methods. So instead of system exit dot 0, I can write over here dispose also. Let's just check it. It should run. So I used that method wrong. According to the syntax, it should be used with a JFrame object. I can use it over here, f1.dispose. So for example, you are preparing a large application and you have many windows or the frames. You want a particular frame to close after performing a certain operation. So dispose method is used that time. Dispose method is used to close a particular frame, not closing the entire program. Alright, so moving ahead, you can check the examples of the window listener and window adapter on the page number 1053 and 1057 of your books respectively. Alright, so this was all about window listeners. Now we move on to the next topic for today, which is the icons, scroll bars, how to add font sizes, tooltips, many other functionalities that we can use to enhance our swing program. I will be just explaining you the methods. I have the demo programs. I will explaining the demo programs to you, and then in the lab lecture I have few programs which I will be solving to explain you all these concepts, how to set a font, how to set a image, how to set a scroll bar. So no program for this today, only the demo program. I have solved demo programs. In the lab class I am going to solve the exercises. Alright, so moving ahead, some important and certain methods, not very difficult to use, quite easy to use. So we are going to talk about over here. First is the font. Now font is a class. If you want to give a font to your label, to the text in the text box, or to your menu bar, menu items, you can use the font class. So font is a class in the java.awt package. You need to remember the package also. It represents the fonts. So this is basically used to set the fonts to the text on your window or on your frame. A constructor for the class font, it creates a font in a given style and a size. So you can set the style and you can set the size. What is the syntax? Syntax is you have to create an object of the font. Then first parameter is the type. What is the style? Sans serif, Times New Roman. For this you must know the types in the types of font in your system. Then what do you want? What type? Font.plain, you want it in the regular, font.bold, font.italics, font.underline. And the last parameter is the point size. What do you want? 12, 14, 18. So this takes a number. The first argument, sans serif, is a string that gives the name of the font. You may use any font which is available on your system. Second and third argument, they specify the style modification and the size. For example, serif, this can be used, it can be font.bold or bold or font.italic, and last one is the point size. Character point sizes, they are specified in units known as points. So the size of a particular version of a font is called as the point size. I have the demo programs for all these topics which I will be explaining or just discussing after explaining you all these concepts, and I will be uploading also. Alright, next is icons and scroll bars. Icons are nothing but the pictures. Scroll bar, first of all, icons. J labels, J buttons and menu items can have icons. Only these can have icons. Label, button and menu items, not menu bar or not menus. What is an icon? An icon is a simply small picture, although it may not be required to be that small. Label, button and menu item may have just a string displayed on it, just an icon, or both. So you may have on a label only a string, that means just a text, or only an icon, or you can have both also. So we have the image icon. What is image icon? Icon is an instance of the image icon class. So icon belongs to the image icon class and it is based on the digital picture file. Picture file can be in any standard format, for example GIF, JPG or TIFF. Class image icon is used to convert a picture file to a swing icon, and there is an example given in your book that will produce an icon named Duke wave icon for the picture Duke waving .gif. So how to use it? First of all, you will create an object of the image icon class, and in the bracket you will pass in as a string the name of the picture. Now make sure that your picture is saved in the same folder where you are placing your program. So for example, if your program is in a folder called ABC, you have to save your picture in the same folder. Then only you can write it in this form. Otherwise, if your program is in folder some ABC but your picture is on desktop, then you need to provide the full path, for example C drive, desktop, documents, whatever, where your picture is stored. So you need better to store the image in the same folder. The file Duke waving GIF should be in the same directory as the class in which this code appears. Alternatively, you can use a complete relative path name to the picture file. So, for example, it is stored in images tulips.jpg. So, if the image is in some different directory and your program is in different directory, then you have to provide the complete path. Now we have the two methods to set icon and set text. Set icon can be used to add an icon to the J button, J menu item or J label. Argument to set icon must be an image icon object. So whatever is the component, for example label.setIcon, it must be an image icon object. So for example, I have defined a label hello. Now then I have defined a image icon object of the image icon, and this is the name of the picture. So hello label, object of label dot set icon Duke icon. So it will set the picture to this label. So this label will have a text also as well as picture also. The method set text can be used to add text to the J button, J menu item or J label. The same format, component dot text set text, and it is text string. So this is how you can set the text on J button, J menu item or J label. Alright, moving ahead. So same example, if you have the image icon and you have already set a picture on the label, if you want to set text also, apply text also, you can use the set text method. Last one is the scroll bars. You can add a scroll bar also, horizontal scroll bar or the vertical scroll bar. Scroll bars are the bars which are added to your window. For example, you might have seen on the Microsoft Word document, when your document gets large, you have the scroll bars. So the class JScrollPane. Now scroll bars can be added only to the JText area. ScrollPane is used to add scroll bars to the JText area. JText area object is given as an argument to the constructor that creates the JScrollPane. So JScrollPane is defined in the Java x.swing package. So how to apply it? First of all, we need to create an object of the JScrollPane and then the text area object, whatever is your text area object. For example, I have a text area called memo. I will create an object of the JScrollPane class and I will apply it on the memo, which is JText area. Then, for example, if I have a panel, I will add the scroll pane to the panel. So first of all, I need to create an object of the text area, apply the scroll pane on the JText area, then add the scroll pane to the panel. Now, what are the policies? What are the methods that you can use? You can have a horizontal scroll bar and a vertical scroll bar. So horizontal and vertical scroll bar. So you can use the properties object of the JScrollPane dot set horizontal scroll bar policy. Make sure of the capital letters. JScrollPane dot horizontal underscore scroll bar always. So always the scroll bar will appear, horizontal scroll bar. Same thing you can do for the vertical scroll bar also. Always means the scroll bar will always appear. It can be any one of the following. It can be always, it can be never, it can be as needed. Always means it will appear by default when you start your program. Never means there will be never a scroll bar. As needed means as the size of your text areas grows, then only the scroll bar will be added. So this is as needed. Same policies can be used for the vertical scroll bar also. Always, never, and as needed. Another method is a tooltip. Using the tooltip text, for example, what are tooltips? Tooltips are you can say the messages that appear when you take your cursor to the components which are there on the frame. For example, when I take my cursor over here, I get something, new slide, add a slide to your presentation. So this is called as the tooltip. Same, this type of tooltips we can add it to the components on our frame also. So how to add it? For example, if you want to add it to a button, b1.setTooltip text, and whatever you want to add or whatever you want the information to be given to the user, you need to put it inside as a string. Last one is the JPassword field. We have learned JText field. We have another JPassword field. So the only difference between the JText field and the password field is it displays the text in the form of stars or it hides the characters. In the JText field you can see all the characters, but in the JPassword field it will hide the characters. So you can for example, if you are creating a username or a login screen, instead of having a JText field, you can create a JPassword field. So this was all the methods, important methods for the Swing 2 for chapter 18. Now let me discuss few important few demo programs which I have already with me for all these topics that we have done now. For example, I have a first program. It sets the font, color we have already done for label, and text field and tooltip. So how to set a font and tooltip? First of all, I have to define the objects of the font class. I can set different fonts to different components. For example, this is my program. I have a login screen. This is login. These are two labels and these are two buttons. Now here I am applying a font to username, labels and the text fields, so that it appears in different color and it appears in different color. And the tooltip text, if you see here, click here to submit data, I apply to both the buttons. So how to do it? For example, I will first of all declare the object or initiate the object of the font. So I want it Times New Roman, I want it bold and 20 points. The other font I want it Arial, italic and 20. Now for the label 1, I want to set font 1. So label 1 dot set font 1. I can set the foreground color also. Foreground color is for the text. So when I set the foreground color, this text will appear in that particular color. For example, for the text 1, text field 1, I have used the font 1. Same thing, I have used the foreground color as blue. Now for the password field, if you see over here, they are in different fonts. I have used the font 2, which is Arial. So label 2 is, you can use the set font 2, but for the text field, I have used the font 2 over here. And then foreground and background colors are also used. Now last one is the tooltip text. On the button, just use set tooltip text, and then in the strings, whatever the string you want to display. So this is how you can use these methods. Second is also the same, setting font tooltip for text area. You can set it for the text area also, for example over here also. So the methods remain the same. Let me go to the next program now. Icon, setting icons for label and button. Now this is the same program, login program, but it appears very weird. Why? Because the image size has not been set. It is displayed in the full size. So if you see over here, I have this is a label. I have image with the label, and then on this submit button I have placed a picture over here. It has both text and label. It has only text and icon. It has only icon. So I have created an object of the image icon. This is the picture that I have. Now label 1, login, set icon. So I have set the icon. So if you see over here, that's why it has text as well as the icon. I will tell you how you can decrease the size of the image, or how to make it more in a better way. Next thing is over here to the button also I have added the icon, but there is a submit text also, but because the image is too big, that has been overridden. So this is how you can just set the icons also, use the picture. Now I am going to tell you the properties so that you can use it. It looks good. For example, now here, if you see over here, this is a label, and with this I have included a small picture. So the property we have used over here, when I used set icon method, I used get scaled distance. So this property is used to provide the size of your image. I provided two parameters, 30 and 30, height and width, and then we have scale smooth property, which will make the picture look more smooth. We have the set opaque property also, set opaque property. So we have used the set opaque property for the label. Set opaque property basically sets the background as transparent. By default, this set opaque property is set as false. Same thing we have done for the another label also. Alright, now if you see over here, last program, this one for text with image. Now what we have done over here, we have provided two images over on the buttons. So same thing for the button, we have used set scale distance and scale smooth. Now this will actually reduce the size of your image. So this way you can make your program look more better. Alright, this program is also almost the same. Here we have set the pictures with the login with the two buttons also. So go with try to go through with this program. Last program is for the scroll bar, how to add the scroll bar. Scroll bars are added to the text areas. For example, if you see over here, we have the scroll bar, two buttons, and this is a text area, horizontal scroll bar and the vertical scroll bar. So how to add it? For example, we have created a text area, then we have created a object of the J scroll pane, and we have in the bracket we have passed the object of the text area. Then we are setting the policy for the horizontal scroll bar policy for the scroll pane, always and always, so it will always appear. Then we have added this scroll pane to the panel too. So these are the three things that you need to do. Always means it will always appear. And then we have, for example, over here also we have a vertical scroll bar, but horizontal scroll bar is not there. So we have set the horizontal scroll bar policy as never, that's why it's not there, but the vertical scroll bar is always, that's why it's present. So as needed will be there once you start typing in the text areas. When your text area grows, then only the scroll bar will be added according to the need. So this was all about the demo programs. I have finished with the demo programs, explaining the demo programs. You can try all these demo programs, but in the lab I am coming up with more programs which the lab sheet we already have shared. I have already shared for the Swing 2. There are many programs for the image icons and all this. So I will be doing all those programs in the next lab. So thank you so much.